Once again, Mr. DeMille, I am ready for my close-up. Here we are. So, good morning. Today is Friday the 20th. Wow. Last Friday was Friday the 13th, and nothing crazy happened. Well, but we had a busy weekend and a busy week. I can't believe how fast this month has flown by. So, I get these emails about bridal shows still, as if I'm still in business. I don't know. Everything about my online profile says I'm not in business anymore. I've been doing this so long, I'm stuck in the website world. And I don't think even people are using websites anymore. We're getting on Facebook groups, Instagram, TikTok. Oh my God, TikTok. Jeez. Things I don't, there's too many buttons on my phone to check all of these things. And what do you do with all of that? I guess you have to get back to people. AI. Yeah, don't forget AI, whatever that's doing. And that now it can create websites for you. I had a brain once upon a time, as many people did when they were 25 years old, and still had some sort of ingenuity or creativity or whatever it was. You tend to lose that going on 42, going on 43. I'm still young, you know. I try. All you can do is try. But somewhere in there, there's still the want and the need to be in business. And it's so difficult when the phone doesn't ring. Well, maybe phones aren't ringing anymore. How are people using those AI response things to get their first contact with the client? People are so apprehensive these days. They're worried, they're afraid. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to put my phone number in because 1,000 people are going to start calling me and texting me. And everyone's brains and phones are just too gobbledygooked up with so much stuff. They don't want to bother anything else. To get somebody to download another app on their phone when their phone is filled with pictures and videos and and every moment of the day, their phones are filling up with so much that if they do one more thing, they have to delete something else to fit a new app. So you're making life decisions. If you want to put your app on someone's phone, it better be worth it. You know, am I going to have to delete my Monopoly Go to put in your business app? I don't think so. You know how the Wheel of Fortune game alone takes up over a gigabyte of space. It's ridiculous. People out there making life decisions with their phones, you know. So imagine what they're doing with their events. So anywho, back in the day, jingle jingle, back in the day, people used to go and actually interact with people in real life. Oh wow, what a concept, you see. And they would go to these things called bridal expos. Wow. And you would walk around and you had to meet people and shake their hands, and you got a physical printed brochure or something tangible you could put in your hand, or you use the photo booth and you get a stack of photo strips and you go, oh my God, wow, look at this, you got a printed photo. Oh, look at these fun people having a good old time. And you put your name and logo at the bottom and you got something like that. Well, anywho, so I'm flipping through this email and I thought, well, let me take a look. There's no way I'm going to be ready for a bridal show this weekend if today is Friday. Of course I could just throw the photo booth in the van that's my wooden box with a camera in it that's all banged up from years of use, and I tell people this is a real working photo booth. This is the real deal that we go out to parties. I didn't just buy this thing yesterday off of Temu and say I'm in business now. This, we do actual things. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to venture into the world here of weddings and bridal expos. If I could click off of that for a second. Where are we at? Oh, we are on a website. So I don't want to lose my spot. But so we have some pictures here. Now this looks like this was taking place in the Detroit Lions football stadium. What do they call that? I don't know. The Detroit Lions football Ford Field. That's right. And so here you are. You have all of the vendor booth spaces, not on the actual football field, of course, but set up in the area that you buy your refreshments that go around the stadium here. And so, as you can see in the background, they have this entire show set up at Ford Field. Wow, what an experience! That would be so much fun. Years ago, we're going to keep flipping through here. You see all the vendor booth spaces with the curtains and everything. And they do a fashion show, and you go, oh, look, there's cakes, and wow, looks like they've got a big double booth there. Boy, wedding cakes aren't cheap anymore. And you have your dresses and your beautiful runway fashion show, and then I come across this and I say, oh my God, it's like an old Model T car. I don't know what you would do with it. I guess that would be the car, if it runs, that would take you down the aisle. I've seen that happen before at weddings. And where you rent an old-fashioned car like that, and you have some jewelry or hairstyles or or going through the fashion show, and of course there's wedding dresses and doing all of that, and then we have a DJ service, and I've never heard of this guy, but yeah, who knows? Pro DJ service. This and that. They've got photo booths, they got videography, they've got accent lighting, and I said, you know what? I don't have a cute boy to I'm just like, hey, me, I could be the guy with the hat. It says, I need a cute boy to be the DJ. Just, that's what I'm missing in my life. And they've got a nice little podium DJ setup, which is gorgeous and beautiful. And I have too much stuff, I mean, it makes me think, like, when I do my DJ setup, I have my sound box. I have a professionally built sound box, but it's on a table and it's hidden behind a facade that you can put lights on and all that nice stuff. And it looks nice from the front. If you were to see my DJ setup from the back, it's just, you got the subwoofer down below that's hidden, and you have the wires and cables that come out and feed the speakers and what have you. And I've got a wire, I guess, for the phone in case you have to look up songs. And there's the charger for that. And there's all my wireless battery chargers for the microphones. And what else do I have hanging out of the booth? We got the cables that go to the speakers and things. And I see a couple of cables on that podium. But anywho, it's just a completely different concept, I guess. So, and it looks like they've been to bridal shows before, because they bring along a nifty modern art style table that they're using to collect the names and addresses. Now, why is that important? That's so important. Regardless of if the bridal expo collects the names or not, you want to know who you spoke with at the show. The list that they give you afterwards of the names and phone numbers of all the brides that attended is completely secondary. It's so important to gather their names right quick of who you talk to, and you can write it for them. Who cares? Don't make the bride fill it out. You want to know who you spoke with. But there usually has to be a catch or a gimmick, such as free giveaway, $200 off the wedding package. You have to have something to get them to fill out their name at your booth. So I know that, and they probably have their own pens and what have you. But anywho, basic DJs, they're not bringing in a lot of equipment. They're not DJing at the space, and I'm surprised by that too, because somebody who has photo booths, why wouldn't they want to have the photo booth there? I don't know. That's very interesting, because photo booth to a lot of successful companies is a upsell. It is not the main service. And I'm going to go on another rant here. I apologize. But photo booths, we've done it as the main thing. Even though I've DJ'd for years and years and years, when photo booth came along, and it was the $1 million idea. And if it had kept going the way it was, it would have been $1 million idea. Well, it turned into a $500,000 idea, and that's about the extent of it. Now it can't make barely $20,000 a year by itself. So if we were booking the DJ service first, oh my God, and then you try to upsell them on photo booth for an extra $600 or $800, then that's how you get to the $2,000 price point for a wedding. And I'm going to tell you, by today's standards, $2,000 is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket for a professional entertainment service to come in and handle all of the aspects of your wedding from beginning to end. Coordinating with the vendors, making nice with the banquet hall lady who, and I'm not going to go into a rant about banquet halls and how they don't like vendors, and it's a whole nother topic. But I want to stick on this bridal show thing. So as you come with, I wanted to click through. Oh, look at that. And they have, they're making City Barbecue. Oh, we love City Barbecue when we do graduations and things. They are the ones that you want. The baked macaroni and cheese, the pulled pork, all of that. And they're making free samples for people. Who doesn't like that? Cakes. I want to eat a cake. You know what I would love to see at a bridal expo? Is someone actually cutting a freaking cake and then being like, oh, this is a real cake, But they do have rental cakes too. Let's go back to that. If you can't afford a wedding cake, there are companies that will rent you the wedding cake that looks beautiful, but it's made out of cardboard. And then you just serve everyone cupcakes later because who cares, right? Who's this guy? Is he a player? But what is this? Firebird Tavern. Well, I don't know. Oh, that must be just a venue or something, a restaurant. A restaurant. See, that's what happens with these bridal expos, which is great, but the booth spaces get filled up with larger businesses that can afford to do this. These type of wedding expos are not always for the little guy. So now it looks like this is another DJ service, DJ Mo Will or something or other, and they've got big high-end lighting and da. But I can't see what they are offering. Tuxedos, of course, and then you have Big Zone. What in the world is Big Zone? Best. There's something over there. Big Zap Zone. Oh, why would you want to go to Zap Zone? Why? That's an odd business to be at a wedding expo, don't you think? Well, good for them. They're just out there promoting their business and something fun to do, I guess, if you were getting engaged. You always see that on the TV shows about the fun things that couples can do while they're engaged and to strengthen their relationship. I don't know, whatever. Oh, look at that. So big sponsor, Meyer, of course. Well, Meyer's sponsoring the whole Ford Field, I guess. So flowers, wineries, more fashion show. You think he's single? Well, who knows? What are you gonna do? Jewelry. I see they have jewelry. The Lash Carna, something or other, something for eyelashes, of course. Wow, look at all those people. I love busy bridal expos. I hate duds. This looks busy. I like busy. They should have a photo booth set up and ready to go. Wow. I haven't seen one yet. I've only seen the DJ. This is pictures from a past event or past bridal expo, and I'm only seeing I saw 2 DJ services, and there's all these other high-end. Well, here now we're off of the bridal expo, so there might be another one down the line, but this is just going through their Facebook page, and that was interesting. So I should call them just as a curiosity, and it's still too early in the morning to do that, but so there you have it. A bridal expo in Detroit, Michigan at Ford Field, and going through it's called Bridal Celebrations, I don't recall ever being involved with them. I used to work with Here Comes the Bride, while Photo Booth was very, very popular in the beginning days of Photo Booth. And they lied to me one time, very, very disappointed, that they would let in, we had an agreement about how many photo booths they were letting in, and they let in too many photo booths. And I says, well, we didn't book anything, and you're just costing me money. And they weren't getting the attendance that they should as far as the brides, and still wanting to charge top dollar, like $500-800 for some of these shows. I don't know. It costs money. I don't know what the bridal show is going to cost today. I would guesstimate they start at 800, and if not higher for something like this at Ford Field. But would I go in there just trying to book photo booth at $600? I don't know. I don't know. Are these people coming in there to sell wedding dresses? If you sell 2 or 3 wedding dresses, does that make up for the cost of a bridal expo? I don't know. Are you doing it just to say, oh, here's our storefront. We were at this bridal show 3 months ago. Is that what you do? I don't know. Because I've been doing this for years, and some shows were successful. The one they used to have at the Pinnacle in Maumee, Wedding Dreams. What thing was called Wedding Dreams? And we'd go in there for $400. In the height of our success, we booked 13 weddings. But we were giving it away at $500. So I said, well, we made $5,000 and whatever. But for what I was doing throughout the year, that was still a drop in the bucket for me. If we were doing 6 figures that year, to put $5,000 worth of jobs on the calendar was, who cares? That was great to stay busy, but the profit margin on $500 was not that much by the time you're paying people $300 to go out and work a wedding, and then all we got was the photo booth out of it. We needed to book the package as the DJ. So that's why when somebody calls me about DJ anymore, this is my wedding package. It's $1,500, $1,499, and you get this, and this. No, I'm not coming out to DJ separately for $600 or $800. Now, I wouldn't bother with that, because I offer an entertainment package. If you don't have the photo booth with it and my helper to come with me, it makes my job harder. I'm not coming out by myself. I got to load everything, set it up all by myself. It's not as fun. You want to be there with somebody that you know. Otherwise, it's just work. Who wants to just go to work by yourself? I want to be involved in successful events. That's what we do. And that's how do you make a successful event? By having all the bells and whistles that I have to offer. How do you build a gorgeous house that's durable and reliable and is going to stand there for 100 years? Well, you give the carpenter, you let him use all of his tools. You don't take away the hammer and the saw and say, well, now put the house together with just a screw gun, because that's all we want to pay for. And then there are brides that do that. They call you and say, well, we don't want lighting. And then, you know why they do that? Because they haven't seen it. They're just thinking dollar signs in their head. They're not seeing the vision of the gorgeous wedding that's going to impress all of their guests and people are going to remember and rave about for years to come. They're not seeing that during the initial phone call. So, and I've been making some mistakes lately too. Trying not to ramble on here. I'm very sorry how long this takes, because I am just a wealth of knowledge and information on this topic. But I've been doing my envelopes for years, and an envelope is great. You know what? We shouldn't even put the price in the envelope anymore. I'm just going to stop giving people pricing. You need to meet with people. That's going to be a change for me, because I'm very disappointed that I've had several clients call me recently, and my goal was always to get their mailing address, because that's the next step. I have to get them something. I have a tangible piece of paper or a brochure so that they can show their fiance or the board of directors or whoever is paying for whatever it is something physical. For someone to hold up their phone anymore, it's here. Look at my phone. It says this guy sent me an email. Well, who cares? Oh, look here. I have a text message from somebody. Whatever. When you meet with somebody, you remember it. You shake their hand. It's a chunk out of your day. It's time out of your life, and you remember that. And you're not going to do that unless you really intend to do business. There would have to be something majorly wrong during the meeting to not get the gig. They decide amongst themselves that they don't like me, or I said something wrong, or who knows, or I think if you get the price point out of the way, that has to be part of your initial questions when you're talking to them on the phone. Like, hey, what's your budget? What are you looking to do? What have you done in the past? What have you done if you've been planning events before? What didn't work, and why are you shopping for a new DJ or photo booth now? Those are good questions, you see. And they might say, well, the guy we had before, well, he wasn't available, or maybe we're just looking to do something different, whatever the questions and answers are going to be. But you have to get to that point of a sit-down in a meeting. Very rarely, I don't think that I've ever met with somebody and they didn't follow through with it. But it's so hard and difficult anymore to get to that point. And because I love to travel, I don't mind traveling for the gig. That's all I do today. And my weekday job is make deliveries and drive from here to there. And you just get in the car and go. I've got 6 cars laying out there. Who cares, right? Just go. So the day of the event, who cares? You pack the car and you just go. But yes, it's a little harder to drive an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours if you're going to meet with somebody. 4 hours out of the day of driving and to plan it takes the whole day to have that meeting. So you have to charge accordingly. You're not doing that for an $800 gig just to put it on the books, That's where we're at. That's where I'm at. The proverbial we, because it's really just me. I can put a nice looking man on my website and paid him. Hired some guy off of Fiverr back in the day and made a little video for me. Oh, he's still there, And now we've got that neat little caricature that you get through ChatGPT. It's the most powerful, awesome thing in the world. It can create whatever you want, but it's not real. And people are. I think the height of the AI thing is going to pass. That people can differentiate between real and fake now, and it's getting good. It's scary good. It's it can make the videos look so fake as if it were a surveillance video, and that's scary, and that's a whole nother topic about video evidence of things that have happened that are not true. Boy, oh boy. And it can show a person breaking into a car. It can show 2 people in a fight, and it can make the video look grainy as if it's real, and it's completely fake. It's called a deep fake. There's a good video with Neil deGrasse Tyson about deep fakes. And people who have faked him, in fact, and he finds it very disturbing, and it's it's not him. Anywho, with that, practice and enjoy.